Guangxi, officially Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region, is a Chinese autonomous region in south-central China, bordering Vietnam. Formerly a province, Guangxi became an autonomous region in 1958. Guangxi's location, in mountainous terrain in the far south of China, has placed it on the frontier of Chinese civilization throughout much of China's history. The current name Guang means expanse, and has been associated with the region since the creation of Guang Prefecture in AD 226. It was given provincial-level status during the Yuan dynasty, but even into the 20th century it was considered an open, wild territory. The abbreviation of the province is Yi, which comes from the city of Giles, the former capital, center of much of Guangxi's culture, politics, and history, and currently the third largest city in the autonomous region. But now Giles overly relied on a tourism economy and its position was replaced by current capital city of Nanning, the largest city of Guangxi. History: originally inhabited by a mixture of tribal groups known to the Chinese as the Hundred Yu, the region first became part of China during the Qian dynasty. In 214 BC, the Han general Zhou Turu claimed most of southern China for Qian Shi Huang before the emperor's death, and the ensuing civil war permitted Zhou to establish a separate kingdom at Panyu known as Southern Yu. Alternatively submissive to and independent of Han control, Southern Yu expanded colonization and Sinucization under its policy of harmonizing and gathering the Hundred Yu until its collapse in 111 BC during the southward expansion of the Han. The name Guangxi can be traced to the expansive, or wide province of the Eastern Wu, who controlled southeastern China during the Three Kingdoms period. Guilin formed one of its commanderies. Under the Tang, the Zhuang moved to support Piluoji's kingdom of southern Zhou in Yunnan, which successfully repulsed imperial armies in 751 and 754. Guangxi was then divided into an area of Zhuang ascendancy west of Nanning and an area of Han ascendancy east of Nanning. After the collapse of the southern Zhou, Liu Yan established the southern Han in Xingwanfu. Although this state gained minimal control over Guangxi, it was plagued by instability and annexed by the Song dynasty in 971. The name Guangxi itself can be traced to the Song, who administered the area as the Guangxi Circuit. Harassed by both Song and the Jiangxi in modern Vietnam, the Zhuang leader Nong Zhige led a revolt in 1052 for which he is still remembered by the Zhuang people. His independent kingdom was short-lived, however, and the tattooed Song general Dqing returned Guangxi to China. The Yuan dynasty established control over Yunnan during its conquest of Dali in 1253 and eliminated the southern Song following the Battle of Yamen in 1279. Rather than ruling Linnan as a subject territory or military district, the Mongolians then established Guangxi as a proper province. The area nonetheless continued to be unruly, leading the Ming dynasty to employ the different local groups against one another. At the Battle of Big Rattan Gorge between the Zhuang and the Yao in 1465, 20,000 deaths were reported. The Qing dynasty left the region alone until the imposition of direct rule in 1726, but the 19th century was one of constant unrest. A Yao revolt in 1831 was followed by the Taiping Rebellion in 1850 and the Jinshan Uprising on January 11, 1851. The execution of Saint Auguste Chapdelaine by local officials in Guangxi provoked the Second Opium War in 1858 and the legalization of foreign interference in the interior. Although Briare-Riedel was unable to invade its depot at Lunzhou, the Guangxi army saw a great deal of action in the 1884 Sino-French War. Largely ineffective within Vietnam, it was still able to repulse the French from China itself at the Battle of Zanan Pass on March 23, 1885. Following the Weikang Uprising, Guangxi seceded from the Qing Empire on November 6, 1911. The Qing governor, Shen Bingdan, initially remained in place, but was subsequently removed by a mutiny commanded by General Lu Rongting. General Lu's Guangxi clique overran Hunan and Guangdong as well and helped lead the resistance to Yuan Shikai's attempt to re-establish an imperial government. Zhuang loyalty made his self-government army cohesive but reluctant to move far beyond its own provinces. Subsequent feuding with Sun Yat-sen led to defeat in the 1920 and 1921 Uyghur Wars. After a brief occupation by Chen Zhengming's Cantonese forces, Guangxi fell into disunity and profound banditry for several years until Li Zongren's Guangxi Pacification Army established the new Guangxi clique dominated by Li, Huang Shaohou, and Bai Kongxi. Successful action in Hunan against Wu Poifel led to the Zhuang GPA becoming known as the Flying Army, and the Army of Steel. After the death of Sun Yat-sen, Li also repulsed Tang Jiao's revolt and joined the Northern Expedition, establishing republican control over other warlords. His was one of the few nationalist units free from serious communist influence and was therefore employed by Chiang Kai-shek for the Shanghai Massacre of 1927. Within Communist China, Guangxi is also noted for the Bei's Uprising, a failed communist revolt led by Chen Tszeli and Deng Xiaoping in 1929. After his own falling out with Chiang, Li joined Yan Zishan's revolt in the Central Plains War. His defeat did not remove him from control of Guangxi, and the Mukden incident and Japanese invasion kept Chiang and the Communists from removing his influence until 1949. The 1944 Operation Ichigo successfully expanded Japanese control along the rail lines through Guangxi into French Indochina, although the line remained harassed by American bombers and Zhuang guerrillas under Bai Kongxi. Being in the far south, Guangxi did not fall during the Chinese Civil War, but joined the People's Republic in December 1949, 2 months after its founding. In 1958, Guangxi was converted into an autonomous region for the Zhuang at the recommendation of Premier Zhou Enlai. This decision was made because the Zhuang are the largest minority group in China and are mostly concentrated in the province. For most of its history, Guangxi was landlocked. In 1952, a small section of Guangdong's coastline was given to Guangxi, giving it access to the sea. This was reversed in 1955, then restored in 1965. While some development of heavy industry occurred in the 1960s and 1970s, the province remained largely a scenic tourist destination. Even the economic growth of the 1990s seemed to leave Guangxi behind. However, in recent years, there has been a growing amount of industrialization and increasing concentration on cash crops. Per capita GDP has begun rising more rapidly, as industries in Guangdong seek a way to locate production to lower wage areas. Geography: located in the southern part of the country, Guangxi is bordered by Yunnan to the west, Guizhou to the north, Hunan to the northeast, and Guangdong to the east and southeast. It is also bordered by Vietnam in the southwest and the Gulf of Tonkin in the south. Guangxi is partly a mountainous region. The Nanyang Mountains form the northeast border, with the Yucheng and Haiyang Mountains branching from them. Also in the north are the Dao and Fenghuang Mountains. Near the center of the region are the Daoyao and Daming Mountains. On the southeastern border are the Yongkai Mountains. The highest point is Khitan Mountain, in the Yucheng Mountains, at 2,141 meters. Many rivers cut valleys through the mountains. Most of these rivers form the tributary basin of the West River. Guangxi has a short coastline on the Gulf of Tonkin. Important seaports include Baiai, Kinsha and Phangkengang. Along the border with Vietnam there is the Deshan Waterfall, which separates the two countries. Guangxi has a subtropical climate. Summers are generally long and hot. Average annual temperature is 17 to 23 degrees Celsius, while average annual precipitation is 1250 to 1750 Major cities include Nanning, Liaotsou, Guilin, Baiai. Notable towns include Longmen, Sanjiang, Yangshuo. Image gallery. Administrative divisions. Guangxi is divided into 14 prefecture-level divisions, all prefecture-level cities. These 14 prefecture-level divisions are further divided into 56 counties, 34 districts, 12 ethnic autonomous counties and 7 county-level cities. Demographics. The Han Chinese are the largest ethnic group. Of these, the main subgroups are those that speak Southwestern Mandarin and Yu varieties of Chinese. The region has over 14 million Zhuang, the largest minority ethnicity of China. Over 90% of Zhuang in China live in Guangxi, especially in the central and western regions. There is also a significant number of both Dong and Muir minority peoples. Other ethnic groups include Yao, Hui, Yi, Shui, and Jin. There is a minor Christian population, which is subject to rigorous official regulations. Politics. Secretaries of the CPC Guangxi Committee, Zhang Yunai, 1949 Euro 1953, Chen Manawan, 1953 Euro 1957, Liu Jiangsun, 1957 Euro 1961, Hui Guoqing, 1960 Euro 1966, Qiog Xiagang, 1966 Euro -1967, Hui Guoqing, 1970 Euro 1975, and Pingsheng, 1975 Euro 1977. Qiog Xiagang, 1977 Euro 1985, Chen Huiguang, 1985 Euro 1990, Caofalin, 1990 Euro 1997, Cao Bochun, 1997 Euro 2006, Liu Kaibao, 2006 Euro 2007, Guo Shenkun, 2007 Euro 2012, Peng Conghua, 2012 Euro incumbent, Chairman of Government, Zhang Yunai, 1949 Euro 1953, Chen Manawan, 1953 Euro 1958, Hui Guoqing, 1958 Euro 1975, and Pingsheng, 1975 Euro 1977, Qiog Xiagang, 1977 Euro 1979, Tan Yingji, 1979 Euro 1983, Hui Chunxiu, 1983 Euro 1990, Cheng Keji, 1990 Euro 1998, Li Tsortzuo, 1998 Euro 2003, Liu Bing, 2003 Euro December 2007, Ma Biao, December 2007 Euro incumbent, economy. Important crops in Guangxi include rice, maize and sweet potatoes. Cash crops include sugarcane, peanuts, tobacco, and kennaf. 85% of the world's star anise is grown in Guangxi. It is a major ingredient in the antiviral Tamiflu. Guangxi is one of China's key production centers for non-ferrous metals. The province holds approximately one-third of all tin and manganese deposits in China. Liuzu is the main industrial center and is a major motor vehicle manufacturing center. General Motors have a manufacturing base here in a joint venture as SAIC and Wuling Automobile. The city also has a large steel factory and several related industries. The local government of Guangxi hopes to expand the province's manufacturing sector, and during the drafting of China's five-year plan in 2011, earmarked 2.6 trillion RMB for investment in the province's Bibu Gulf Economic Zone, see below. In recent years Guangxi's economy has languished behind that of its wealthy neighbor and twin, Guangdong. Guangxi's 2011 nominal GDP was about 1,171.4 billion yuan and ranked 18th in China. Its per capita GDP was 15,800 yuan. Due to its lack of a major manufacturing industry in comparison to other provinces, Guangxi is the fourth most energy-efficient province in China, helping to further boost its green image. Economic and Technological Development Zones, Beihai Silver Beach National Tourist Holiday Resort, Beihai Export Processing Zone, approved by the State Council. Beihai Export Processing Zone was established in March 2003. Total planned area is 1.454 square kilometers. The first phase of developed area is 1.135 square kilometers. It was verified and accepted by Customs General Administration and 8 ministries of the state, on December 26, 2003. It is the export processing zone nearest to ASEAN in China and also the only one bordering the sea in western China. It is situated next to Beihai Port. Dongxing Border Economic Cooperation Area, Guilin National New and High-Tech Industrial Development Zone. Guilin High-Tech Industrial Development Zone was established in May 1988. In 1991, it was approved as a national-level industrial zone. It has an area of 12.07 square kilometers. Encouraged industries include electronic information, biomedical, new materials and environmental protection. Nanning Economic and Technological Development Area, established in 1992, Nanning Economic and Technological Development Zone was approved to be a national-level zone in May 2001. its total planned area of 10.796 square kilometers. It is located in the south of Nanning. It has become the new developing zone with fine chemical engineering, auto parts, aluminum processing, biological medicine and other industries. Nanning National High-Tech Industrial Development Zone. Nanning High-Tech Industrial Development Zone was established in 1988 and was approved as a national-level industrial zone in 1992. The zone has a planned area of 43.7 square kilometers, and it encourages industries that do electronic information, bioengineering and pharmaceutical, mechanical and electrical integration and new materials industry. Pinxiang Border Economic Cooperation Zone. In 1992, Pinxiang Border Economic Cooperation Zone was established. It has a total area of 7.2 square kilometers. It focuses on development of hardware, mechanical and electrical products, daily use chemical processing, the services, and international logistics-based storage and information industry. Yongning Economic Development Zone. Investment. 71 Taiwanese ventures started up in Guangxi in 2007, with contracts bringing up to $149 million of investment, while gross exports surpassed $1 billion. There are a total of 1182 Taiwan ventures in Guangxi, and by the end of 2006, they have brought a total of $4.27 billion of investment into the autonomous region. During the first half of 2007, 43 projects worthy of RMB 2.6 billion have already been contracted between Guangxi and Taiwan investors. Cooperation between Guangxi and Taiwan companies mainly relates to manufacturing, high-tech electronic industries, agriculture, energy resources and tourism. Power. Guangxi Power Grid invested 180 million yuan in 2007 in projects to bring power to areas that still lacked access to electricity. The areas affected include Nanning, Hechi, Bose and Guigang. Around 125,000 people have gained access to electricity. The money has been used to build or alter 738 10 kV distribution units with a total length of wire reaching 1,831.8 kilometers. Due to lack of investment in construction in the power grid net in rural areas, more than 400 villages in Guangxi province were not included in the projects. Around 500,000 cannot participate in the policy known as the same grid, the same price. Guangxi Power Grid will invest 4.6 billion yuan in improving the power grid during the 11th five-year plan. Guangxi Power Grid has invested 2.5 billion yuan in building electric power system in the first half of 2007. Of the total investment, 2.3 billion yuan has been put into the project of the main power grid. So far, 4 new transformer substations in Guangxi are in various stages of completion. Guangxi substation went into operation in the city of Hechi on January 2007, and since then it has become a major hub of the electrical power system of the surrounding 3 counties. When Kangwu substation was completed, it doubled the local transformer capacity. In June 2007, the new substation in Changzhou passed its operation tests. And in the same month, Keelung commenced production too. This shall support the power supply system of Keelung City, as well as the northern part of Guangxi province, and facilitate the nationwide project to transmit power from west to east. Biba Gulf Economic Zone. In late February 2008, the central government approved China's first international and regional economic cooperation zone in Guangxi. The construction of the Biba Gulf Economic Zone began in 2006. With the approval, the Biba Gulf Economic Zone will be formally incorporated into national development strategies. The Biba Gulf Economic Zone covers 6 coastal cities along the Biba Gulf. It integrates the cities of Nanning, the region's capital, Biai, Qinshe, Fangkengang, Changzhou and Yulin. The state will adopt policies and measures to support mechanism innovation, rational industry layout and infrastructure construction in the Biba Gulf Economic Zone. Guangxi has pledged a 100 billion yuan investment over the next 5 years for building and repairing 2,500 km railways to form a network hub in the area. Biba Gulf Zone will serve as the logistics base, business base, Processing and Manufacturing Base and Information Exchange Center for China ASEAN Cooperation. Biber Gulf Zone promises broad prospects for further development and its growth potential is rapidly released. But the shortage of talent and professionals in petrochemicals, iron and steel, electricity, finance, tourism, port planning, logistics and marine industries are bottlenecks. The regional government is also working on speeding up key cooperation projects including transportation, the marine industry, agriculture, forestry, fisheries, energy development, cross-border tourism, and environmental protection. Biber Gulf has already attracted a number of major projects such as Gingshe oil refinery projects and Stora Enso, a Fortune 500 forest products company based in Finland. In January 2008, trade import and export in the Biber Gulf zone exceeded $1.3 billion, a record high. Bauxite reserves. In September 2007, China's Ministry of Commerce said that it has found 120 million tons of new bauxite reserves in Guangxi. The ministry said that the new reserves, which are located in Guangzhou in the southern region of Yaojiang, have a very high quality of bauxite, a raw material for making aluminum. Currently, the proven reserves of bauxite in Guangxi are about 1 billion tons, making the province one of the country's biggest bauxite sources. Transport, rail. The Henan-Guangxi Railway, which bisects the autonomous region diagonally from Guangxi in the northeast on the border with Yunnan to Pingsang in the southwest on the border with Vietnam, passes through Guangxi's three principal cities, Nanning, Liuozhou and Guilin. Most other railways in Guangxi are connected to the Xiangyi line. From Nanning, the Nanning-Kunming Railway heads west through Baise to Kunming, Yunnan, and the Nanning-Fankangang Railway runs south to Gingshe, Fankangang and Beihai on the coast. From Liuozhou, the Guizhou-Guangxi Railway extends northwestward through Hechi to Guizhou, and the Jiuzhou-Liuozhou Railway runs due north to Hunan, and eventually Hubei and Henan in central China. From Litang Township on the Xiangyi line between Nanning and Liuozhou, the Litang-Guangxi Railway runs south to Gingshe on the coast, and the Litang-Zhanjiang Railway extends southeastward through Guigang and Yulin to Zhanjiang, Guangdong. The Luoyang-Zhanjiang Railway, which intersects with the Xiangyi line on the Hunan side of the border at Yunzhou, runs south through Hezhou and Wuozhou in eastern Guangxi and joins the Lizhen line at Yulin. At Zhengxi, a branch of the Luozhen line heads east to Maoming, Guangdong, forming a second rail outlet from Guangxi to Guangdong. Roads, aviation, culture, Guangxi, and neighboring Guangdong literally mean western and eastern expanse. Together, Guangdong and Guangxi are called the two expanses. Its culture and language are reflected in this. Though now associated with the Zhuang ethnic minority, Guangxi's culture traditionally has had a close connection with the Cantonese. Cantonese culture and language followed the GZAR River Valley from Guangdong and is still predominant in the eastern half of Guangxi today. Outside of this area there is a huge variety of ethnicities and language groups represented. Guangxi is known for its ethno-linguistic diversity. In the capital of Nanning, for example, 3 varieties of Chinese are spoken locally, Southwestern Mandarin, Yu, and Pinghua, in addition to various Zhuang languages and others. Tourism. The major tourist attraction of Guangxi is Guilin, a city famed across China and the world for its spectacular setting by the Lijiang among karst peaks. It also used to be the capital of Guangxi, and Jingjiang Prince's City, the old prince's residence, is open to the public. South of Guilin down the river is the town of Yangshuo, which has become a favorite destination for foreign tourists. Ethnic minorities in Guangxi, such as the Zhuang and Dong, are also interesting for tourists. The northern part of the province, bordering Guizhou, is home to the Longsheng rice terraces, some of the steepest in the world. Nearby is Sanjiang-Dong Autonomous County. Education. Guangxi University, Guangxi Medical University, Guangxi Normal University, Guilin University of Electronic Technology, Guangxi Education and Research Network, Nanning Science and Information Network, Guangxi University for Nationalities, Yulin Normal University, Guangxi Chinese Medical University, Sister regions: Kumamoto Prefecture, Japan; Carinthia, Austria; Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil; Voronezh Oblast, Russia; Montana, United States; Poitou-Charentes, France; Surat Thani Province, Thailand. See also: Major national historical and cultural sites in Guangxi, List of twin towns and sister cities in China. References. Economic profile for Guangxi at HKTDC. External links: Guangxi government website, Guangxi travel guide from Wiki Voyage.